Hi everyone, welcome back to my video. So today we will learn together about HA configuration on the FortiGate firewall. So like this, you have to have two FortiGate firewall device, and all device has to be the same model and the same version. Yes. So to implement the HA configuration, if you are new here watching my video, please subscribe to my channel and give the thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to comment below if you have any question. Okay, so FortiGate HA, it need the heartbeat link between the master and the slave. So they will talk to each other by the heartbeat link, and all the information and the configuration, it will update from the master to the slave. So if the slave get the information that the primary or the master is down or the master die, the slave will take over, become to the master, and control all the network traffic in our network. So like this, to prevent from our network down. Another thing is that it will check and monitor the link between the FortiGate firewall to our LAN, to our core switch, and the link between FortiGate firewall to the ISP. So in case if the link is down, whether from the FortiGate to the ISP or FortiGate to our core switch, it will also update the information, and the slave will take over, become to the master. Yes. So we will see together how it works, and let's go to the lab. Okay, so this is our GNS3. Let's design the topology. So we need two FortiGate. Okay, need two FortiGate, and we need the switch, our core switch, and this is the switch for our ISP, and the cloud for internet access. Okay, so we can say this is ISP, and this is internet, and we can call it FortiGate master, we can call FortiGate A, and this one FortiGate B. Okay, and this is our core switch. Okay, so okay, Okay, so PC, I can take this PC. Okay, let's start the FortiGate first. Okay, GNS3, duplicate, duplicate, this is heartbeat. Or we can say HA link. Okay, and this is our core switch. I will do VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. Okay, so now the FortiGate is up. Let's go to the FortiGate A. Okay, so let's go to the FortiGate A and for the ISP we use 168.130.12.24. Okay, so log in as admin with no password. Okay, welcome. We need to change the host name to FortiGate A. Okay, so config system global set host name FortiGate A. Okay, and config system interface edit port 1. Port 1 is our WAN port, so we need to set the mode to static and set IP 192.168.130.12/24, and we need to set rule to when set allow access. So in my case, I want to access from the ISP, from the WAN. Actually, you can set allow access from the LAN, from our local, but here in my case, I prefer to access the FortiGate firewall from the web by WAN. So I can say ping https. Okay, so I think we can access now, and let's go to the web browser, and here, okay, no need to change password. Okay, so we can go to interface, port number 1. Okay, the rule is when allow ping https, and the name is the WAN. Okay, so let's do some configuration. Here the host name for the FortiGate A. Okay, so let's do the routing for internet access. Gateway, interface, WAN. Okay, and interface, port number 2. We can say local LAN. Local LAN, self. We not configure the IP address on the local LAN because we will use the VLAN. Okay, so VLAN 10, I can say VLAN 10 is office, port number 2, 10, and then 192.168.10.1. okay, allow ping the HTTP server. Okay, so I can say start from 10. And then another one is VLAN 20. I can say Wi-Fi on port 2. This one 20. And 20.1. Okay, the HTTP server. I want to start from 10. Okay, the last one is VLAN 30. Okay, VLAN 30. I can say CCTV, port 2, 30. I want to start from 10 as well, and save. And we do the inter VLAN, the member 10, 20, 30. Okay, so we go to policy, IPv4 policy. And we create the rule for our client to access internet. Allow to internet interface. Our inter VLAN outgoing is our WAN, and we allow all. Okay, so now on the FortiGate firewall, we have configured the VLAN already, and this is our inter VLAN routing. So we need to go back to our core switch. Okay, start our core switch, and then configure this link as a trunk port. And configure the port for each VLAN. Okay. So let's start our core switch. So configure interface E00 switch port trunk encapsulation .1q switch port mode trunk interface E1 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN. Oh no, E1 also trunk, or we can say, okay, we can say interface rank E01 to E03 switch port trunk switch port mode trunk. Okay, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. So VLAN brief. Okay, so interface data. Okay, trunk. Because this port connect to the firewall, and this is uplink to our switch. So we need to configure all the port as trunk. We also can change the here to yes, core switch. Okay, so now continue to another switch. Let's open and interface E00 switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. Okay, interface E1 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, the VLAN 10 already created. Okay, switch port mode access VLAN 20. Okay, switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 30. Okay, so and save configuration, so interface data. Okay, correct. So now we can start our client to see the client can get the IP address or not. Okay, So let's start this client on VLAN 20, so IP DHCP. Okay, now can get. How about the client over here? Okay. Okay, it seems the client get the IP, so IP config. Okay. Ping. not go to the internet. Why? Okay, let's say DNS. Okay, we try to configure DNS. Static route. Okay, policy. Okay, so let's try again. Still not go to internet. Okay, that's okay. We can test later. So now continue to this switch. Okay, so configure interface E00 switch port trunk encapsulation.1q switch port mode trunk. Okay, this one switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 20. Okay, so let's start IP DHCP. Okay, ping 192.168.20.10. Okay, can ping across the VLAN. So let's try ping Google again. Okay, so we will fix later. Let's try this client IP DHCP. Okay, so now can. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to configure the HA. So now we have all configuration on the FortiGate firewall on the FortiGate A. So here our configuration. Okay. and we have some policy here. Okay, so what we need to do is we want to configure the HA between FortiGate A and FortiGate B. So the FortiGate B, when join the cluster of HA, it will update the configuration from FortiGate A to FortiGate B. So when the FortiGate A down, the FortiGate B will take control all the network. So our client or our network still can run smoothly. So another thing, if this link down or this link down, the FortiGate B also take control to become the master, control the network as well. Even the FortiGate A still alive, still here, but the link is down. It also consider as the HA update information, and the FortiGate B will become the master. But for this case, I don't have the license. That's why that option not work for me. I try to test many times, but it still not work. But the one thing that HA work is when this FortiGate A down, the FortiGate B will take over. Yes, I will show you. Okay, so let's go to the FortiGate A, and we go to system HA here. Okay, now it stand alone, and we configure the HA active, and this device priority, we need to set the priority to the higher priority because we want the FortiGate A to become the master. So 200 is higher than the default priority, so it will consider as a master in HA. We call it okay. We can say HA group. For the password, we just 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, that easy for us. But in the real case, you need strong password as well. Okay, enable session pickup. So it will update the information to the slave. Here, like I said at the moment, monitor interface. Like I said, monitor interface, we want to monitor the WAN and the LAN port. So in case our WAN port is down or our LAN port is down, it will consider that the master cannot control or cannot operate the network anymore. So the slave need to take over to become the master and control all the traffic. Yeah, here that option, but it not work for me in my case because my lab is the FortiGate VM is the trial version. So if you have the real device, so can test with that option. Okay, this is the heartbeat interface. Heartbeat interface, we use port 3. Okay, port 3. So okay, actually we start our FortiGate B. Still waiting for the member, but FortiGate B not yet configure the HA. So it need to wait. Yes, here only one member and it is the master. Okay, so I want to change some. I want to change here. It did. And okay, I want to rename it HA hat, so we know that this is the link that we use for HA. Now the HA cluster can see only one member. Okay, we go back to our FortiGate and wait for the FortiGate B to start up. While we are waiting for FortiGate B, we check the FortiGate A. So system HA. Okay, so here the configuration of HA that we have configured the HA group. The mode is active, and this is our heartbeat link on port number 3, and session pickup also enable. Actually, this option is disabled. If like this, when the HA happen, for example, when the FortiGate A down, the FortiGate B will become to the master, and after that the FortiGate A is now become to ally in our network, and they can talk to each other, but the FortiGate A still in the slave. Okay, so because we not enable this option override, so if you want the FortiGate A to become the master all the time, so we need to enable this option. So when the link down or the link have problem, or the FortiGate A have problem, the HA happen, the FortiGate B become to the master. After that, the link you have fixed the link here, for example, and everything is become to normal. The link okay, FortiGate A okay, and they talk to each other, they exchange information, but the FortiGate A not become to the master. Yes, so if you want FortiGate A become the master, you need to configure this one to be enabled. Okay, so let's see together this option. Okay, we will test. Okay, so sorry. So now FortiGate B. This is the new FortiGate that we want to join the HA cluster. So we can see, so system interface, port 1, port 2, port 3, no configuration. And this is the host name. So we want to change the host name. So config system global, and then set host name for get B. Okay, and then we go to the HA configuration. Config. Oh, sorry, not Cisco. This is FortiGate. Config system HA. Okay. And then we set move to AA. Set group name to HA group. Okay, set password 1 2 3 4 5 6 and set session pickup enable, and then okay, so I think that's all for the configuration of the HA. So we set move to AA group, HA group, password 1 2 3 4 5, session pick up. Okay, so okay, one more thing we need to set is the heartbeat. It is very important for the heartbeat because the FortiGate need that heartbeat link. So set HBDIF port 3. Okay, port 3 0. And then okay, so system HA. Okay, so now we check the HA, get system HA status. Now we can see the HA cluster. The slave is FortiGate B, master is FortiGate A. Okay, and this is the serial number, and you see the FortiGate B is out of synchronize, so it will take some time to synchronize from FortiGate A to FortiGate B. So all the configuration from FortiGate A, it will update to FortiGate B after it synchronize everything. So it will take some time, so we need to wait. Out of synchronize. Also, you can check here, admin. Okay, here. So FortiGate A is the master, FortiGate B is the slave, and this is the red sign here. It will show that the FortiGate not yet synchronized. Okay, and here the IP address, the IP address, it can be FortiGate A or FortiGate B, because when the FortiGate A down, it will become to the FortiGate B. If you want to log in directly to the FortiGate A and FortiGate B, you need some configuration to set the specific IP for that HA cluster. Okay, so let's go back to FortiGate B. Still not yet synchronized. Okay. If you check here, the priority is 128. That's the low priority, so it will become to the slave. Also, you can see in the information here, yes, FortiGate, this one is select to the master because where select to the master because the largest value of the priority. Okay, so if you go here, yes, the priority is 200. It will take some time. So admin get system HA, get system HA status. Okay, now it in synchronize. So it means that all the configuration from FortiGate A synchronize to the FortiGate B. Let's refresh. Why this one still show the red? Anyway, all the configuration is synchronized, and as you see before, the FortiGate B is the fresh new, so no configuration at all. Let's go to the FortiGate B and check some configuration. So system interface, yeah, as you see, it will update the configuration to FortiGate B. That the port 1, this is port 2, okay, update everything to FortiGate B. Port 3, and we have here the VLAN 10, yes, everything. So if I cannot test the link down because like I said it not work for the trial version. So I can test is I bring the FortiGate A down. Let's check with our client first. How can it go to the internet? Ping 8.8.8.8. It seems that my internet is not working. Let me try. Let me try from here. Ping 8.8.8.8. Okay, so cannot go. Let's go back and check our configuration. Network interface. When IP address. Okay, static route to the gateway and policy IPv4 policy. Inter VLAN WAN all. Okay. So why we cannot go through the internet? Let's try again. Oh, okay, now can. So let's try from our client. Oh, how come now we can? So let's refresh the Facebook or YouTube. Okay, so our client can access to internet now. So let's go to our lab and try to shut down the FortiGate A. Shut down the FortiGate A and we check our client still can access to internet or not. YouTube. Yes, still can. So the FortiGate B will take over the FortiGate A and become to the master. So let's go and check. Like I said, this IP, it can be FortiGate A or FortiGate B based on the HA. So now it becomes FortiGate B. Yeah. And if we take a look at HA, now FortiGate B is a master. Okay. And also we can check here. Get system HA data. As you see, the FortiGate B is the master because have only one member. Okay, master. If I bring back the FortiGate A, if I bring back the FortiGate A and then let's wait for the FortiGate A start up. Okay, it takes some time because my resource is reached to the maximum. Okay, come on. Okay, now come come on. Come on. Okay, admin, no password, get system HA status. So you can see that even we set the priority to the higher priority, but the FortiGate A still cannot become to the master. Like I said, we need to enable the override option to let it override the HA configuration and take over to become the master. Okay, so like you see here, the FortiGate B is the master and FortiGate A is the slave, and all are in synchronize. Even we set the priority to 200. Okay, if you want when the FortiGate A back to normal and become to the master automatically, you need to go to FortiGate A and enable okay, so config system HA. So here the override here, you need to enable that option. So set override enable. Okay, so now it's enabled. Okay, so get system HA status. Now the master is the FortiGate A and the slave is FortiGate B. Okay, let's see again. Yes. Okay, so like this, every time when the FortiGate A come back, it will take over to become to the master. Okay, so one more thing is about the login. If you want to log in directly to the FortiGate, actually this is the HA cluster. So sometimes it can be FortiGate A, sometimes it can be FortiGate B. And if you want to log in directly to FortiGate A or FortiGate B, you go to FortiGate A, config system interface, edit port number 1. Okay, so I have IP, I have allow access, I have the name, and I have the rule. So if you want to log in directly to FortiGate A, you can set management IP. So IP address, you give different IP address. For management, I can say 13 for the FortiGate A. Sorry, 24, 13. Okay, and so again, here I get the management IP address. Okay, and FortiGate B, where is FortiGate B? Okay, here. FortiGate B, FortiGate B, login as admin, password, and then config system interface, edit port 1. So okay, so set management IP 192.168.130.14.24. So I can, this one 13 is for the FortiGate A, 14 is FortiGate B. Okay, so let's try together. So this IP it can sorry, this IP it can A or B, but you want specific with the A, you go to 13. Okay, 13 it will log in directly to the FortiGate A. Yes, as you see A. And 14 is the FortiGate B. And you will see, yes, the FortiGate B. You can see the HA as well. The FortiGate B is the slave, FortiGate A is the master. Yes, FortiGate A is master, FortiGate B is slave, and all the configuration is synchronized. Okay, so I think that's all for HA configuration. If you still have some question, you can comment below and I will get back to you soon. Thank you for watching, and I see you with the next video.